What's going on, everybody? What's going on, everybody? It's TeamBoydTV Live. We back for our grand finale, maybe. JB had some cool little thing that we might have an announcement for y'all later on. Anyway, that's the end of the football season, man. We got one game left. We got the Super Bowl left. I'm your boy Big Q. This is TeamBoydTV Live. I'm joined for might possibly be the last time for a couple months by my brothers, my homeboys. I got Glass, the Sage of Sports in the building. What's going on, Glass?
What up, fam? Big Q, JB. Everybody out there on social media, we appreciate you joining the last show of the season. Yeah. Let's get it cracked.
Yeah, let's do it, man. And I got my bro. I got the Raven Shogun in the building. What's going on, JB? What's happening, man?
Hey, what up, Glass? YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. Last time.
We
Let's
got
go.
Seattle Seahawks 5668 in the building. What's going on, Chief? Man, this has been a crazy start to the Super Bowl drama build up, because I mean, right on the day of the Pro Bowl, we had to deal with some sad stuff with the whole Kobe Bryant thing. And you know, in TeamBoydTV, all of us, we want to send our condolences out to the Bryant family and everything. Like, that was a sad day for sports and that kind of thing. We're not going to talk about we're a football show here, but fellas, if y'all have some words y'all wanted to speak, go right ahead.
No, but real quick, well, first I'd say, you know, it was definitely took a hit. If you got any type of athletic pulse, you felt that one. But on another note, for the technical difficulties of the show, Facebook just go up, so we're good.
Okay, did it just go up? Okay, cool.
Yeah,
so
right. We're good to go.
All right, good. Because I just closed out the page too. What about you, Glass? How you feeling?
Hey, man, I was real quick, man. I hated Kobe.
Right.
Simple fact, when he was playing for simple fact, man, he was so good. I hate the Lakers.
Right.
I consider the Lakers as the Death Star, and Kobe was Darth Vader, man. Wow. So I hated him, but you know, in his when he retired, he turned into a cool dude. You see behind the scenes, he mellowed out and he was doing stuff. He was working hard with his businesses and with his family, like he was working with basketball. So it was just shocked me, like we just talked off the air, man. But you know, all my condolences to the family, to the friends, and to the other passengers on the helicopter. Rest in peace, and my condolences.
All right, so I just want to make sure I got all our cams back right. Okay, there they go. All right, so you know that was a very sad day, and it was crazy because it happened right there on the right when before the Pro Bowl kicked off and everything. But that's crazy. So but we got the Super Bowl. We still got this one big game to talk about, which I think is going actually Glass. I think this is going to turn to be a really good Super Bowl. I think the last couple Super Bowls have been okay. I think last year's Super Bowl was a little lackluster, but this one is a Patriots-free Super Bowl, which is great, right? We got two really young quarterbacks going at it. You know what I mean? Like some young squads. We got the Andy Reid story, right? We got that. You know what I mean? So it's there's a lot to digest, and a lot to talk about, and that kind of thing. We got Seattle Seahawks are waiting for the draft now. Hey, bro, you look. I think your Seahawks did pretty good. At least y'all had a playoff run. Carolina is starting from super scratch. I mean, talking about from the bottom. I mean, like it seemed like every day I'm getting a notification that another Panther done left. I mean, we lost Kuechly. I think Greg Olsen stepped. They said they wasn't bringing him back. Was that yesterday? Today I found out North Turner, which I'm gonna say this, JB. Look, the North Turner news was actually the best Panthers news that I got over the past couple of months. I feel like we definitely need to move on from North Turner. If we're gonna move on, we need to move on from North Turner. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I believe. I don't think. Look, I'm gonna tell you this right here. Like North Turner hasn't won anything since he came to Carolina. In fact.
What you mean by that, man?
I mean, if you look at North Turner's arrival in Carolina and how the team performed since his arrival, North Turner did not do anything to enhance or better this team. Now, granted, maybe the timing was bad. Maybe the timing was bad with the whole. I'm just saying, as a Panthers fan, North Turner didn't do nothing for me, Glass. He didn't do that for me.
What he had to work with, other than McCaffrey? I'm just saying. Right? I'm like, dude, you asked to pull water off a rock sometime, right?
I'm just saying. I got to figure out Man, y'all solos are kind of jacked up, but that's that. As a Panthers fan, I know we in rebuild mode. Seahawks, Fox, say y'all good. JB, your Ravens, look, y'all all right. You know what I'm saying? The Titans, they're fine. You know what I mean? Like, I know
you didn't say nothing about my Broncos, man. But
your Broncos might be in a situation like that.
That's the point I'm trying to say. That's the point I'm trying to say, man. It ain't the end of the world, man. Right. Like I told you off air, I think San Francisco was 2-14 about 3 years ago, man. Yeah. Look where they at now. So, man, just calm down, man. It ain't the end of the world. To all you Panthers fans, for y'all holler at me. You know where I'm at.
Okay. I'm just saying, I've been on social media, and I'm telling you, I was just on Facebook an hour ago having to shut some people down talking about they're blaming Cam for everything. And
hey, bro, do I have to get a wellness watch on you, man?
I mean, for real,
we get ready to go into the offseason. It's getting ready to get rough. I'm just saying. It's gonna be rough. But you know what? We're not here to talk about Carolina, right? We're not here to talk about that.
True that.
We're here to talk about these two amazing teams, the San Francisco 49ers and the Kansas City Chiefs. Before because I know eventually we're going to have to pick the game, but before we do all that, let's talk about the teams for a minute, Glass. I look at San Francisco, and you brought it up a second ago about where they came from a few years back. They ended up getting that coach from Atlanta, right? And then where Kyle Shanahan came from. And this was after Atlanta went on that Super Bowl run with a crazy offense, right?
Right.
But what's crazy to me is that he took that offense up to San Francisco, but they ended up being a defensive team. But on the surface, when you look at, we're going to talk about San Francisco first. I'm looking at this team, and I'm looking at a defense-heavy team. We're going to look at I got some plays I prepared that we're going to look at here in a minute. But on the surface, Glass, what you think about, like on the whole, what you think about the San Francisco situation right now?
You can't knock what they're doing. John Lynch and Shanahan did what they had to do. Like you said, for an offensive-minded coach, defense is hella ready. I think because of Rob Saleh, concocted scheme to come, bring the kitchen sink. I guess they don't even have to blitz. Right. The front four do the damn thing. You know what I'm saying? You got a future Hall of Famer and Richard Sherman in the backfield and everything. I'm impressed with what they've done over there. I'm a little mad because they robbed my Chicago Bears with some couple of picks a couple of years ago so we could move up and get Trubisky, and that's a whole nother story. I ain't tripping on that, but they did what they had to do. They got some pieces. They got some main pieces. They robbed New England with Garoppolo. So, hey, they did what they had to do. They had to rob Paul to pay Peter and all that stuff, and look where we are now. 3-13 team making it to the Super Bowl.
Right. Yeah.
I'm sorry, 13-3 team making it to the Super Bowl.
Right. I don't know. I'm just looking at on Facebook. T Money on there. He's like, Glass, can you stop the we don't have weapons under that CMC BS yet? North hasn't had healthy Cam that much. I don't.
Once again,
I'm just saying, not a fan.
Name me other than CMC. Who else out there that's even something to think about? Not let alone a Pro Bowl. Just somebody that's out there that's doing wide
something. Receivers on, but
again, y'all haven't had a wide receiver. Okay, let's stop. We ain't talking.
That's DJ Moore. That's all. I ain't gonna say it. But anyway, JB, we're talking about the San Francisco situation, right? And I don't know, man. At first we was talking about the NFC going into the season. And y'all remember there was a period where I was picking against San Francisco every single week. And I mean, they went 10 straight games, right? Was that right? Was it 9 or 10 straight games? And I didn't believe in them, JB. I didn't. And here we are. They represent the NFC in the Super Bowl. What's your takeaway?
Defense win championships, so they always had that going for them. And then they added Emmanuel Sanders, and Garoppolo started seeing stuff better. Not that he was terrible, but granted, that offense is very well balanced. They doing something that we ain't seen in the NFL in a long time, especially with the transition of it being more of a passing league. But they run the ball extremely well. Yeah. So Garoppolo kind of get overshadowed by that in the defense, but they're extremely balanced on all phases. So
but that
I am not shocked by them being what they getting what they deserve right now.
The only thing is, though, Glass, and JB, you hit on it for a second there. Like the whole thing with Garoppolo not throwing the ball and them running the ball. Now, granted, normally I would say something about that, Glass. Like normally I would have something to say about, because that kind of remind me of the 2018 Baltimore Ravens. You remember what happened in the second half of their season?
Mm-hmm.
Lamar Jackson was out there. They didn't pass the ball but like 6 times the whole entire game. You know what I mean? So normally I would have something to say, but in this situation, it might be the best game plan for them. But with that whole thing being said, them not being a super, pass heavy team and, putting the ball in the air like that and run, I mean, does that make them one dimensional? Like, they're going to run the ball. Now, granted, they got 1 million running backs they using, but I'm saying, right? They're running though, Glass. So does that pose a detriment for them or what? What you think?
Listen, man, I don't care what anybody say. I know it's a throw happy league and everything, but whatever works to get you where you need to get to, that's what you run with.
Yeah.
Like, once again, Shanahan is that offensive genius. We said the same thing about McShay, 2 years ago?
Right, we did.
You know what I'm saying? You do what works for you. Now, I'm telling you, that might have tipped their hands a little bit too much when they played the Green Bay. And like you said, Garoppolo threw 8 passes?
8 passes.
And
yes.
then, what's his name? Mostert,
yeah. He ran the ball like 40 times or something like that.
I kind of would have dialed that back a little bit once I got a nice little lead.
Right.
I won't be tipping my hand. Now, KC got something to work with. But back to the San Francisco 49ers, Shanahan knows what he's needed to work with. He's learned his lesson from the Atlanta Falcons Super Bowl. When I get you, I'm going to keep you down, put my foot on your neck and snuff you out. So that's what they work with right now.
But he said at the halftime of the Green Bay game, he knew they would have some form of success running the ball against them, but he didn't know it would be like that. So why go away from what worked? Jimmy Garoppolo is more than capable. He's got capable weapons. If it came to it, he can throw the ball. It's not like he's got like some hitches in his mechanics or he can't do it or he'll work in progress throwing the ball. He can do it. If you don't have to, don't.
Right. And I know, and I know we will talk about it at a little bit later part of the show, but my concern right now, Glass, what they said, Mostert, how many carries he had in that game? It was I think he had eclipsed
35 plus.
There was 30 something plus. So if you can't see, you're like, oh, well, we definitely got to stop the run. We're going to make Jimmy Garoppolo put the ball in the air. And I know we're going to talk about the X's and O's later, but to me, I think that makes him super one-dimensional, and that worries me just a little bit. Because
I'm not like JB said. I think Garoppolo is more. He ain't a great quarterback, but he's better than average. He's a good quarterback, and he got weapons to work with. I mean, like I said, Emmanuel Sanders that came from Denver,
Hittles,
Deebo
exactly. Samuels. They got stuff. Man.
Yeah,
they got stuff.
I'm not. We know it's there. Now maybe he did run heavy the last game to shock Kansas City in this game and just air it out, but. We'll talk about that later. Right. But no, they're capable of throwing the ball also.
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, they definitely got the tight end situation, which is really good. And this going to be a tight end heavy game, I believe. Mm-hmm. And we're going to talk about Kansas City here in a second. But I actually think, again, just going back to what I had said earlier about, they go all these games straight, JB, and it's just I'm sitting there every week. I'm in the Pick'em League, and it was just something. But with the team. That I just couldn't get on board right away. And I don't know, you guys probably saw it before I saw it, obviously, because I was picking against them for so many weeks in a row. And it's just, look, to me, I didn't think San Francisco would be here until about 3 weeks ago, right? That's when I kind of I think that's really when it clicked with me, Glass, that we would have, the San Francisco was that team. JB, I kind of really, the whole season, I really didn't, they showing me 10, 11 games straight,
Right.
I didn't think they would be the one.
Well, you know what? We were talking about the Ravens, during the season, and Kansas City Chiefs was the team to be. And I think not saying San Francisco flew under the radar, but we had our attention more so on the other team. Yeah. And like I said, before we know it, San Francisco only lost 3 games. We're like, what?
Right.
So, hey, it's not their fault. We just wasn't paying attention.
Wasn't paying attention.
Right. Look, man, anytime you can run the football at will, anytime you can hold teams under a certain amount of points or take away what they usually do and literally do it, that's ingredients for a championship team.
Yeah.
Everything else they do, special teams, what the quarterback can do up to this point is extra. That's a bonus. But if you got a quarterback that can take care of the football, you can run it at where you can. They know that's what you're doing, and they still have success with different guys. Yeah. Okay, that's they were going to be hard to beat anyway. We saw this. I saw it. I speak for myself about week 5, week 6.
Yeah, it was weird for me. It's just I guess what really kind of turned it around for me was watching the defense come up like they came up, and that's why I want to direct y'all's attention to these clips. I know y'all might have to. I hope y'all got the videos up so y'all can see it. I'm gonna pull these clips up real quick. If we're gonna take a look at this 49ers defense, right? And this is kind of the stuff that I was talking about how. Well, of course we got to talk about the secondary. Like the first play we're seeing right here, Richard Sherman picking off Jameis Winston, and that kind of thing. So let's pause it right there for a second and talk about that secondary glass. So you got a pretty decent secondary, and the talk of the town, where it was at least a couple of weeks ago, was Richard Sherman. Like, who was it? Darrelle Revis who came? No, yeah, Darrelle Revis. It was Darrelle Revis, right? Came out his mouth. Talking all that trash, calling on Richard Sherman because he don't travel. He sit back in that zone and play. And actually, what we just saw, if I go back to that video again, we go back to that video one more time, and that's kind of what we see here as Richard Sherman sitting in the zone. So here it is. Winston lets it go, right? And I'm looking at the play. I got it paused right here. I'm just kind of bouncing around on it, and you can see Richard Sherman just sitting back in the zone. Bam, picks it off right there. Not traveling with his person. Pretty much just sitting in the zone doing his thing. Now, JB, you heard what Revis said, and you saw the tape, right? Now, me personally, I don't care what my corner does as long as I can get picks like that. As long as there's coverage and ain't nobody open and running away with like I done seen some stuff like the Houston Texans secondary, the Carolina Panthers secondary, the Miami Dolphins. I done seen some stuff. So what you think about what was said, JB, and about the San Francisco 49ers secondary?
That's a moot point. Who cares? I mean, that's the way you play. That's the way they playing, and it's working. They 13-3 in the Super Bowl. It's irrelevant. I mean, he did it his way. He lost a lot of battles playing the way he played.
Right, absolutely.
He had to go join the super squad to get himself a championship. Yeah. So, whatever works. That's Sherman's strength. If you want to be silly enough to see them in zone and throw it to his side, and that's his strength.
Right.
Okay, that's on you.
But the whole conversation is lock down this. Lockdown corner that, follow my man around, travel, and I guess in the fraternity of cornerbacks, I guess they got tiers, right? If you travel, you considered a better quarterback. If you a zone cornerback, then you ain't that good. Is that what's happening here? Is that the way you see it?
Man, I put it like Revis just trolling, man. He ain't got nothing else better to do but sit on his couch and troll. Richard Sherman handled it nicely. It's like, man, I got time for this. Which I congratulate him for that.
Right.
That clip that you showed, man.
Yeah.
Let me put it like this. Number one, Jameis been just
threw
30 in them bad
Correct.
That was a bad one.
I just grabbed the footage, bro.
I got you. And number 2, did you see how quick that lineman got to Jameis before he had to throw that ball?
Oh, absolutely. We get ready to talk about that here in a minute.
It's a team sport. Richard Sherman doing the job he's supposed to be doing. Yeah. I ain't worried about nothing else.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So you can talk all the garbage you want. Richard Sherman is that dude.
That's right.
And also another fact that I think the 49ers blitz less than anybody in the league this year.
Yeah.
They're getting to the quarterback just
regular
the guys on the front.
Absolutely.
That's a four-man rush.
Yeah. Right.
So it benefits Sherman to have his eyes to the quarterback if the guys are getting to their guy fast.
I believe. Teammate said it only matters when Sherman do that best of all time talk. Hey man, it don't matter if they ask him to. I'm with him. Whatever they ask you to do, and you do it to the best of your ability. Hey, look, man, it is what it is. And I mean, look, who's getting ready to play in their third Super Bowl, and how many Super Bowls that Revis playing? So let's just talk about it. Exactly. So
even when he was the supposed the best, shut down corner, people still tried him and beat him.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. I 100% agree. All right, Glass, you was talking about that front. Let's look at that, right? So, this right here is just a clip from Richard Sherman running the back. All right, so that front with these guys up front, this is what I'm super nervous about. So let's look at this. This again. There you go. There they go right there. They're coming after him. Look at that. So this is again still the Bucs they playing against. It's still Jameis Winston, right? But this is Nick Bosa, right? We talked about that cat. Here it is again. Look, and this right here is what I'm talking about. The way they swarm, like that to me is crazy. Like this is the kind of defense that make me excited. I love seeing stuff like this. Like this is crazy. This is still a Tampa game. Make Winston throw the ball, boom, picked off again. So when we talk about defense like that, JB, when you see stuff like that, now you know me, and I know JB, you less. And glad your team had some legendary defense as well. So y'all know how excited this kind of make me, right? So when I see stuff like that, I get super excited. And the fact that this defense is going up against Kansas City, which makes it really interesting to me. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, guys. What you going to say?
Give credit to San Francisco front four. It just get to the point where it doesn't matter how elusive a quarterback is. It's like when the quarterback turns to go the other way, there's somebody coming from that way. So you're trying to figure out, like, okay, where can I find a hole? There's no hole because they're coming at you from both angles. So shout out to that defense.
Now, JB,
there's weaknesses because my team beat them.
Right.
Mahomes is mobile. But there's weaknesses in their game. Don't get me wrong. Just with the rush assignments. They'll let Lamar let him come after him, and then he was out the window. Mahomes ain't really got that kind of. He's capable. He's fully capable. I think they with the return of they linebackers, because Quan Alexander didn't play against us, and he just as fast, or probably faster than Mahomes.
Right. Yeah.
So it's still a chess match right there, and it looked like the favor is in San Francisco's hands.
That's what it looked to me too. And I mean, when I watch how quick those guys can get to the quarterback, and granted, a lot of the footage I showed was from the Bucs, and people say, well, you chose the Bucs, and the Bucs ain't really got amazing offensive line, and you got a quarterback that is a turnover machine. But I'm just saying, this footage I just picked that footage because that was some big plays by their front, and that secondary working in tandem to pull off a lot of the stuff that they pull off. So I think that this right here is going to be a nightmare matchup for Kansas City. I just think it's going to be rough for them. I mean, I don't know what Andy Reid going to have dialed up, but this
we've seen this before.
Yeah.
We've seen this before with the Steelers, Green Bay Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. All about their pass rush. They was non-effective, and they no-name corners and secondary got roasted.
Yeah, I know.
If I'm mistaken, Harrison wasn't defensive player of the year. It was Palomalu, right?
It was.
Yeah. Right. But they were suspect because the front, Kiesel and all them guys got shut down.
Yeah.
They blocked them. They blocked them. They didn't block them the whole game. They blocked them when it mattered.
Right.
Exactly.
So, but this is the reason why I chose to show the 49ers defense, and then when we go and look at Kansas City, we're going to look at Kansas City's offense, is because this is what I was saying, Glass. Now, your team, just like my team, showed up to I think we saw this happen to the Patriots too, but they showed up in the Rams as well. They showed up to the Super Bowl with all this offense, and they're going up against a team with a lot of defense, and then they get their ass handed to them, right? So, but like I said, we get into the X and O's a little bit later, but this is what I'm setting up. I'm setting up like San Francisco is bringing that defense. And it looked like all Mahomes and them boys bringing is a whole lot of fast speed and offense, and that's what we're getting ready to talk about right now. So we flip it over to the Kansas City Chiefs, JB, and you know what the Kansas City Chiefs are about. They're about a lot of possessions, putting up a lot of points very quickly, and it's a lot of speed on that team, a lot of speed. They got a big sure-handed tight end, speed wide out, crafty, elusive, shifty quarterback. Only thing they're missing is like a bona fide run game, right? So I don't know, but this is what they bring to the table, JB. So a lot of offense. And the only thing about this that bothers me is, like I said, when I see teams bring that kind of offense to the Super Bowl, I just don't ever see it materialize. So I'm a little bit worried about that. JB, what you think?
If San Francisco's front don't get home, Mahomes can throw that ball from any angle, anywhere. He can definitely sling it. Look, usually like when containment get broke, they play backyard. But they got way too much speed on the Kansas City offense for them to be just sitting in zone.
Right.
So they hand may get forced to some man situations. If that's the case, it's a track meet.
Yeah.
That didn't favor for a lot of other teams this season either.
No. Actually, Glass, when it comes to speed, right, and just being able to take advantage of speed and stretching the field and just doing pretty much whatever they want to do offensively, if they got time to let the plays unfold, San Francisco in trouble. They are in trouble. What you got?
Got to get home. They got to rattle Mahomes, man.
What you got on the
have
Glass?
to.
Dude, that wide receiver core is no joke.
Right.
You got track stars as wide receivers. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, and put on top of that, you got a quarterback that do stuff that I haven't seen done before.
Right.
Size, throw, flips, runs out the pocket. You got to keep him contained, but then if you keep him contained, you can't give him enough time to do what he got to do. Right. If you give him enough time, he's gonna blow you up. Yeah. If you get him out the pocket, gonna carve you up. Yeah. So it's like you gotta come with your A game damn near every snap.
You do.
You don't know what might happen. And just like you say, even though the run game ain't great, right, it's valuable. It's serviceable. So you just gotta be ready at all times for that team.
So JB, you're the defensive coordinator for the 49ers. What's his name? Is it Bieniemy? What's his name?
No, for who?
The Niners. The Niners.
Niners?
Yeah. Or the defensive coordinator for the 49ers.
Robert Saleh.
Yeah, okay, so you him, and you see the Chiefs come out there line up, right? Like, I'm just trying to envision because they got so much talent, so much speed, they can do whatever they want to do. They can run or pass out of any situation, turn a passing play into a running play. You saw them screens and stuff, which I'm gonna show you guys a lot of that screen game that they got, which is to me I think is one of their biggest strengths, other than the long game with Tyreek Hill. But you looking at these guys coming out there lining up, and you have no idea what they're getting ready to do. So JB, that to me, I think that's one of the advantages that they got because they got so much talent. And they got so much speed at the positions that matter. They can do whatever they feel like doing. They can run whatever they want to run and not worry so much about, blowing it or messing it up. What you think about
that? They got. I mean, it's all about execution with KC. They don't execute well. I mean, it's just proven with this season. I don't think Mahomes been sacked very many times. Right. And they got that one matchup nightmare that Brady used to possess with Gronk and Travis Kelce. Mm-hmm. And of course, San Francisco got the same luxury with Kittle, but the compliment to Kittle that Kelce got with Hill and Hardman, Watkins is just different.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Different.
And Watkins ain't really been a show stealer. Toward the end of the season, his numbers are definitely. But you know what though, he always makes at least one or two big plays in every game, so you can't count him out, right? So you got that you got to worry about. You got Hill either stretching the field or coming out of the backfield, end around, all kind of weird stuff going on. You got that tight end who's a matchup nightmare for everybody. Screen game is ridiculous, right? I don't know. It's a lot of offense, man. And let's not forget, Patrick Mahomes, like JB said, that dude can do some wild stuff, Glass. He can do some wild stuff. It's just can San Francisco get there? Can that KC offensive line hold up for all the stuff that happened? With Mahomes to make his magic happen. Glass, what you think about that?
It's good. I put it like this. It's going to be a great game. Yeah. You got, like you said, you got a high-powered offense going up against a solid defense. It's going to be whoever blinked first, basically.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Let's not forget Patrick Mahomes was out a couple of games because he had a dislocated kneecap. Mm-hmm. And they still ended up 12-4.
Right.
So it's like, it's not just Patrick Mahomes. It's it's a team game, like I said, about San Francisco. So I'm going to say the same thing about Kansas City. Andy Reid, he dials up plays they need to dial up. Like you said, Eric Bieniemy, who should have had a coaching job, but that's neither here nor there right now. He's doing the damn thing over there. Yeah. So defensive wise, I don't know. We talking about that now. Frank Clark, he got to make do for what he did last year by being offsides. He got to pay attention to what he's doing.
Oh yeah.
I think he got not a chip on the shoulder. He got a vendetta to make up for what he did last year. Cause I think they should have won last year. That's just me.
Right.
It was a pick if he wasn't lined up outside.
Exactly.
Wasn't that D Ford or
yeah. Oh, was it D Ford?
It was D Ford. He got traded.
I'm sorry about that. Yeah. Well, Frank Clark needs to slide up in there and make do with what he got.
Yeah.
I think it was a great pickup that they got Tyrann Mathieu.
Oh yes.
Help that secondary because the secondary is still suspect, but him back there.
JB's boy Suggs is back there too. They picked him up in December.
Right, exactly. So defense, they not the greatest. They hard on the run stop, but I think it's one more game. Throw everything at them and see what comes up.
Yeah, man.
I think that they the ones that probably will show up at least as at a critical point in this game. Everybody talk about how good Mahomes and Tyreek Hill, Kelsey is, how good the San Francisco defense is, how great the running game is for the San Francisco offense. Right. Nobody's giving any just or kind of credit to the Kansas City defense. So it's on them basically. That's the game.
Right.
It's them.
Well, they woke up in the last couple games. But here's the thing. Here's the real elephant in the room that I don't think people are really addressing. Look, the Kansas City defense, they've shown that they do exist. Like now, all season long, they were non-existent. They showed up a little bit. They added some pieces late, and it's working out for them, right? They able to kind of to do a little something. But this is the big elephant in the room. That whole being down double digits early in games.
You can't do that.
We can't do that, man. That right now, if you do that, you in trouble. You know what I'm saying? That right there is just like something I was dumbfounded the first time against who was the first team they played? Was it the Tennessee or was it? Mm-hmm. It was Tennessee.
It was the Texans. It was the Texans. Right. That's who they got down 24-0 against.
I was completely blown away by that. I had no idea what was going on. I was like, "What is this?" And then and I was watching the game while I was at work. So I come back to the game a few minutes later, and they done ripped off 30 something points in a matter of minutes. But that's a luxury you can pull off on your way to the Super Bowl. I just don't think you can do that in the Super Bowl. I just don't think you do.
Nah, you ain't winning that game. You go down 24-0 against the 49ers. That's not happening.
No,
exactly.
Absolutely not. You know what I mean? So now what I want to do is I want to direct your attention back to the matchup screen again. We're gonna look at some of this offense that we got here. So this first step I got here, I think I got them going up against the Jacksonville Jaguars, and we are going to see that screen game I was talking about with Travis Kelce first. I think that's the first play we got here. So let's see what we got here. Oh, no, that's a deep one. Oh, and he's gone. And that's that speed we was talking about. It's a track meet at that point. You dump it over there, you let that man get behind you, and it's game over. You let that man get behind you, it's over. So this is the one, I think this is the screen. Nope, that's not the screen either. Boom, they got behind him. Game over. You know what I mean? And see, this is the kind of stuff I'm talking about. Like, and then, again, this is Jacksonville we're talking about. They ain't really got no speed in their secondary and nothing like that. But when we see stuff like this, though, that's a running play.
You see that throw? Man, come on, dude.
You know?
Yeah.
This is the kind of stuff I'm talking about. Though. So, like, when you see stuff like this, look at this, airing it out. Nobody on him. Now, that's Sammy Watkins, big play for him that season. And I think that was the biggest play he had for the whole year, I think it was. But but it's just like, this dude was having his way. He just throwing the ball all over the yard. And I mean, that's Kelsey. Kelsey, 2 steps ahead of his guy. JB, now I don't know if the San Francisco defense is going to, this is Jacksonville we're talking about. I mean, this tape is showing Jacksonville. But you see how much separation these guys are getting. I don't know. JB, what you think about that?
If you gotta take them type of strengths away. I mean, look, they are what they are. They've shown it all season. You can't, those things you can't allow. You can't allow that. If you're gonna win, if you're gonna beat us, you're gonna have to recreate some stuff. You're not gonna be doing that.
Right. Because that is ridiculous. Like
that's too easy.
Mahomes was having his way with the Jacksonville Jaguars defense, and I'm telling you, every receiver that he hit had about 2 steps on the defender, right? Now I'm not saying that's what San Francisco is going to do. I'm just giving you an idea of the confidence that a quarterback got in his receivers, man. Look at that, you know?
Right. And like you said, they had damn near 2-3 steps on it, but let's not forget also that Patrick Mahomes could throw in them tight windows also. So it's just like you just have to bring your A game to the game to the Super Bowl, and just hope that he don't see that player that you lost in the background, which is very rare. But you just got to put pressure. You got to keep pressure on Mahomes and try your hardest, and have your secondary just try to cover the best they can. Right. Don't have nobody get past you.
Right.
You got to play. You got to play every play different, because normally, typically, they look like there's nothing there. They setting you up for something.
Right.
And it's gonna be an explosive play.
Yes.
Yeah.
And my man David Napier on Facebook, thank you for sharing the video, man. I definitely appreciate it. What he say in the comment here? He says, I can't see. He says, this will probably be the best Super Bowl in a long time. I think so, too. Did I get them all? That's all the comments I had for him. Let's see.
Yeah.
And my man David Napier on Facebook.
And let's not forget the old man on the Chiefs, LaShawn McCoy.
Oh yeah. Right.
All you gotta do is pound them a little bit, get them a little soft, and there you go.
Right. Yeah, man. So listen, I think this is gonna shape up to be a very, very amazing game. I think that we saw the tape. Now that was week 1 against the Jacksonville Jaguars with no pass rush, JB. That's Mahomes pretty much doing what he want to do with no pass rush. Just out there kind of just, playing like backyard football. That's what it looked like to me. You know what I mean? I don't know. Seahawks 5668 said Seahawks lost at home by 6 inches to a healthy 49er team with no running backs or tight ends, 31st ranked offensive line. Chiefs can win this game as long as they play smart and don't make mistakes. Well,
I agree.
Well, let's talk about it. Let's get it, JB. Here we go. It's the matchup. You seen it. Look, we talked about both teams. We talked about the 49ers defense, and we talked about how they want to run the ball, and there ain't that much passing going on. Just a stout, stellar, swarming defense and a pretty tight, speedy, crafty secondary versus a super high-powered offense, speed, and creativity of the Kansas City Chiefs. I don't know which way you want to go first, JB. You want to give me your spiel on what you think will happen in this game, man?
Well, I'll say this: we've seen now. I think people forgot the 3 losses that the 49ers have had. Mm-hmm. They lost against Seattle in overtime. Okay, a game that they should have won because Russell basically gave the game back to them late.
Right.
They still squandered. They needed that game. The NFC game was a divisional game. It was important. They lost. They won the next time, but the 49ers already had an X by their name, so it was either don't get swept, or I think it was a respect game. Second game they lost obviously to the Ravens. The score don't tell it, but they ran into something they wasn't ready for.
Right.
I don't know if they learned anything from that. We'll see, because this Super Bowl is basically the Ravens all over again in some respects.
Yes,
but and then you lose to the lowly Falcons, and so now that it's concerning.
I think so too.
Talking about, they say what you will about how that game ended, or if Julio was really in, or what have you, but you shouldn't have been in that situation against the Falcons as the class of the NFC.
Dang.
But you clearly are, because you're in the Super Bowl.
Right.
So it can be done. It could be done. Depends on what 49ers team show up. We see the team that was in the playoffs. The Chiefs really only have a couple of spots they could go to, and it may not be enough. So
yeah,
that's my take.
That's your take. You know what? I agree with most of that. I do. I do feel like I'm swaying a little bit, because it's just, for me, I look at history and I look at what we've seen before, and usually you show up thinking that you're going to throw the ball around and run the score up in the Super Bowl. It just don't happen. Usually when you see a high score in the Super Bowl, it's because of a lot of turnovers, a lot of defensive scoring, right? Like a la the Denver-Seattle game and Denver-Carolina game, right? Whole lot of defensive scoring going on, not a whole lot of offensive scoring at all. It's just, I don't know. I'm feeling like Kansas City might be the team that really has to look out and be wary of what's happening, versus I think San Francisco gonna come out and play their game. I don't think they really gotta dial up nothing exotic or nothing super special. They just gotta continue being who they are. Make sure they super aggressive like they always are, managing the game in offense like they normally do. And I think, limit the possessions of the Kansas City Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes, because you keep giving him the ball, he gonna keep scoring. That's just the way it works, right? So for me, I'm looking for that, Glass. I'm looking for that in the game. I'm looking to see how Kansas City responds to the run game from San Francisco. If they can try to speed the game up a little bit, because San Francisco gonna try to slow it down. That's what I'm looking for. So what about you, Glass? What you got?
Wait, hold up. You said I put all my money on opposite team.
Hey, listen. He told me he already gave me his all-season record for Carolina, 4-12. He already gave it to him earlier in the show. I was like, okay. He says, cue my preseason Panthers record for next season is 4-12, just so you know.
Damn.
Hey, I deserve that. I deserve that. I did that. So anyway, go ahead.
Man, are we giving our summaries or giving our picks now?
We're gonna pick in a minute. We're gonna get there.
All right, cool.
Yeah,
I agree with everything both of you guys say. This is just gonna be a chess game. You got a like I said before, a solid defense going up against a high-powered, highly fast offense. I understand everybody say defense win championships. I hear all that,
right.
but speed kills.
It does.
So this going, like I said, it's going to be who gonna blink first
and
take advantage of the mistakes. Once again, it's going to be a chess game. It's going to be very exciting. It's damn near ain't going to be that 13-3 game we seen last year. It's going to be a whole lot of offense. People going to air it out. People going to ground and pound. It's going to be an exciting game. I'm here for it.
All right. So I'm trying to figure out where the comment came from. Said Cam has never lost less than 6, and we won 5 with the back.
Hold on. Okay. Mr. T-Money, bruh. We are talking about the San Francisco 49ers and the Kansas City Chiefs. We're done with the Panthers. Now, if you don't do your own thing, do your own thing. Let's stick with the 2 teams that's left. Your team needs
okay, Glass. Okay.
I'm sorry, Big Q, but T Money just brought that out.
I'm just saying. Listen,
he's still talking about the Panthers.
Okay. We're gonna have some Panther talk during the offseason.
Hell,
we're gonna do it.
We ain't talking about the Broncos. Right. We haven't talked about the Ravens.
Right.
Why are we talking about the Panthers?
Okay.
Just saying.
Look at Seahawks saying.
Love you, T Money, but come on, man.
That was hilarious. Wow. I'm really going to miss the show, man. I'm going to miss the show. I'm really going to miss it, man. He said that was in response to 5666 4-12 prediction. I feel you, bro. Okay. I'm going to go first. I'm going to go first. All right. This is what I'm thinking. Ain't nothing rest really to talk about. Let's just go ahead and pick them, right? I think if we can stay mistake free, if we can stick to the game plan, if we can keep running that football with Mostert and the rest of them boys that they got, and they can keep running the ball and long drives, take up all the clock. If we can stay with that game plan and not get scared and freak out when things don't go right, if we stick to that game plan, I got the game going to San Francisco. I'm going to say 29-20. 29-20. 29-19. 29-20. No, 29-19. Let's do 29-19. 29-19. That's where I'm going with it. 29-19, San Francisco. That's my pick. That's official.
29-19.
Yep, you don't put it in the books, right?
I got you. All
right, JB, you up next. What you got on it?
All right, so historically, teams that travel with their running game and play defense, or travel with their running game and their defense typically win. Historically, that's been all the winners. The defense closed the game for the past at least 7 Super Bowls. Mm-hmm. Guys would go T-Money, especially you, go back and check that. But I'm joking, man. It's all shit. But what got you there won't keep you there or won't win it for you. So what we can account for is turnovers. Yeah. These 2 teams don't typically, they hadn't made the critical error all season. When you add sudden change to the game, it hurts.
Yes.
Russell Wilson lost the Super Bowl in the worst way. But I'm going to stick with history, and I'm going to go with the 49ers because run game and defense will at least keep you winning or give you a chance.
They will, as long as you don't go away from that.
I don't know what the score is, but they win it by 10.
Okay. All right, so you got that glass of JB, got him by 10. Listen, I think if you stick with the game plan, JB, just like you said, as long as you don't freak out and start, I'm telling you, the minute they put that ball in Garoppolo's hand, that's when 49ers are out of this game. I'm just saying. All right, Glass, where you at?
Man, can I call a push? No. Anyway, this is going to be a great game. It's going to be a close play game. We have already talked about how the situation is going to be. Andy Reid, I want him to win one.
I do too, but
you know what I'm saying?
Sadly, this ain't it though.
Listen, San Francisco defense, they're gonna do what they got to do. But I'm gonna tell you the glaring thing that caught me when they played the Green Bay Packers. Devontae Adams burnt Richard Sherman. Let's not forget Richard Sherman coming back from the Achilles injuries. And in that game, it showed me that, okay, dude, you lost a little step. Now, that's Devontae Adams. We talking about Tyreek Hill, Sammy Watkins, and Harden, track stars. There's going to be that one play that's going to mess them up, and Richard Sherman going to get burnt. Now, I'm going to say this. Robbie Gould, the kicker for the San Francisco 49ers, is going to keep him in the game.
Okay.
He going to kick them 40-yarders, 50-yarders to keep them in the game.
Yeah.
On the other hand, Kansas City Chiefs defense, like I said, they're not the best, but they stepped the game up a little bit.
Right.
If they shut down that run game, like I told you before, I think San Francisco showed their cards when they was running up and down the Packers. If the Kansas City Chiefs shut down that run game, that means you're going to put the ball in Garoppolo's hands.
And that's where it gets scary.
I'm not saying Garoppolo is a bad quarterback, but I got to see what you got to do. There's some games that he does show up and do his thing, but you got to show me again that you do this in the lights are on and the best game that's out there.
Yeah.
Everything's said and done. Tight ends going to cancel each other out because they both great tight ends.
That's right.
It's going to be an air game, I believe, when the dust settles. Shout out to Steve McCarver Jr., Diego, Mr. T was P-Town.
P-Town, Coast, all of them guys.
All of them.
Yeah.
I'm going with the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Going to win this game. It's going to be close to 24-27.
Wow. You're going with the Mahomes boys.
I'm going with the Mahomes boys.
All I can say is that if they give the Chiefs, uncharacteristically, if they give the Chiefs 2 extra possessions, they lose.
You look. I have to agree with that. Yeah. But I think that the game plan keep Mahomes on the bench. You keep Mahomes on the bench, he can't beat you, man. But it's not about Tom Brady too. I'm just saying.
Get the turnovers down and the penalties down.
Yes,
I'm not going against history. I mean, I like the story.
What you mean you're not going against history, man?
Defense and run games win championships.
Okay,
they do.
Okay.
I mean, look.
All right.
Yeah, so but this is go ahead.
I'll say this too. What got you there won't keep you there or win it for you. So if San Francisco roll in there with the confidence and trying to get the run game going, and there's a fumble here or there,
who got the largest margin of error? The finesse team or the grinding team? Like I feel like as long as that ball is in the air, you got more success of suspect to drop the ball, get batted down, get it intercepted, than a dude dropping the ball on the fumble when you're running the ball all day long. It's just I don't know. I just feel like as long as San Francisco don't get behind the 8 ball and panic and think we got to throw the ball, because the minute you give the ball to Garoppolo, it's over. It's a done deal.
Exactly.
Like I said, I'm worried about one thing. The KC defense is not getting no love at all, and they're gonna probably show it.
And you know what? They probably feel a certain type of way about it, but they better go out there trying to be no heroes. They better not do that either, right?
Yeah, right. Stick to the plan and do what you're supposed to do with your situation.
I know they feel some type of way. They get disrespected in the media, and it's just what it is. What it is. It's what you put on tape. That's what it is, right? So
and like JB said, don't panic.
Right.
If you down some, just stick with your game plan.
You better, because they get out of control quick.
Exactly. Well, fellas, another season is in the books. Well, it will be in the books come Sunday night, right? We've managed to pull it off again. You know what I'm saying? And I think for our people who stick with us season after season after season. Uncle Hate just hit me on Twitter. Sounds extra confident and even shook and scarfed with foolishness. I don't know what he's talking about. That's just a tweet he tweeted. But anyway, the people who ride with us, man, don't get it twisted. We appreciate it, though. Like we definitely appreciate everybody just showing up, liking the video, sharing the videos, talking about us on Twitter, talking with us on Twitter, engaging with us on social media. We definitely appreciate everything y'all do. Lord willing, we'll be back next season with the show. It'll be bigger and better as always. If you guys like what we do, if you ain't never did it before, share it with somebody that you love. Say, listen, these 3 dudes, they dope. I love checking them out. Put somebody else on, you know what I mean? And then that's coming from me, Big Q. I definitely appreciate it. Fellas, there's another one in the books, fellas. Let's go ahead and put ourselves over for the last time for the next few months, unless y'all concoct something crazy stuff that y'all going to do in the off season. But hey, JB, go ahead and let the fans know what's up with you, man.
All right, for the last time on this platform, it's been a great run. Glad, appreciate it. the highs and lows, Q, the highs and lows, everybody who watched, the highs and lows, the hope from week 1 up until now, we ain't there.
Yeah.
Some of us fell short. Some of us didn't have a shot.
Right.
Some of us,
right, because they have a shot.
But I'm glad it's over. But from me, all of us, and especially shout out to all the girl dads out there. I think that's a special thing.
Yeah.
Man, we'll see y'all next season, man. Yeah. And good luck to the teams that's in it.
Yep.
You can always find me here.
Yeah.
On Twitter as Raven Shogun.
Right. Talking about the 2 Kansas City fans that are out there. There's a lot of, you know, the Niner Nation is in full effect, but it's 2 KC fans. All right, Glass, go ahead and put yourself over, bro.
All right, man. What season is this? Season 9 or season 8?
Oh, I think it's season 8. I think we're wrapping up season 8.
Yeah, man, 8. Listen, man. Each year it gets better and better. I love these 2 brothers right here. Y'all out there, y'all gotta understand. We just come off the hip with this. We don't plan nothing. We don't. There's no game plan. We just get on here, get on the mics, and do our thing. So, much love to my brothers here. I appreciate everybody. Nothing but love for everybody that joins in on the show. Each year we get something new, get somebody new. We add on.
Yeah, we do.
Just like Big Q said, man. Tell a friend and tell a friend to tell a friend to come check out our show. We got good stuff here. With that being said, check out our other Urban Arena brothers, Uncle Hate, Diego Brishnikov on AA Sports. Yeah. We good. But them brothers are consistent.
Yes, they are.
They bring the stuff every week. They don't take a day off. They got good stuff. They keep it real. So check them brothers out at AA Sports, Straight Sports, No Chaser. Yeah. And once again, I'm gonna find a way to pull Big Q out of when the NFL season is over. He goes dark. I'm trying to pull him out.
Look, hopefully something will keep me there. I don't know.
We gonna figure out something. But if you don't catch me here with my brothers on TeamBoydTV Live. You can catch me on all social medias, Twitter at SageOfSports1, Facebook, Instagram, Sage of Sports, and email me at thesageofsports@gmail.com.
All right, that's going to do it for us here at TeamBoydTV Live for the 2019-2020 season. Like I said, Lord willing, we'll be back in July to do our division breakdowns like we always do. And look, if I see your team go before into it, don't hold it. Well, I guess you can hold it against because we're super critical when it comes to that kind of thing. But that's what we do. It's all in good fun. We'll see y'all in July. Until next time, man, y'all enjoy the game this Sunday, and we'll holler. Y'all take it easy. Peace.
Peace.
Yeah.